Hi everybody. This is going to be the Geometry Midterm Review Packet. Your midterm is on Monday, January 26th, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what we got. An equation of the line that passes through the point. Well, to write the equation of a line, the first thing you need is the slope. If it's parallel to this line, I know that parallel lines have the same slope. So I start by getting y by itself. Once I get y by itself, I know that my slope is negative 3/2. If the slope of this line is negative 3/2, then the slope of the parallel line must also be negative 3/2. We know from our sum, parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. Now that I have my slope, I have my x and my y from that point, and I can substitute into y equals mx plus b. Y is negative 1, m is negative 3/2, x is 2, plus b. You can put that into the calculator if you're afraid of the fraction. I'm not. Negative 3 plus b, add 3, add 3. I get b equals 2. My m is negative 3/2, my b is 2, my answer is choice. Number 2, which equation of a circle will have a graph that lies entirely in the first quadrant? My first quadrant is right here. We'll check out the centers first. This one, remember, negate what's in the parentheses. This one will have a center of 4, 5. This one will have negative 4, negative 5. This one will have negative 4, negative 5. This one will have 5, 4. Well, which are in the first quadrant? Not choice 2, not choice 3. So it's got to be either choice 1 or choice 4. Using a piece of graph paper will be helpful. So let me pull one up. Let's get my graph up here. Remember, you will have plenty of graph paper on your Regents exam. So let's take a look at each of them. If the center is 4, 5, and the radius is, in this case, 3, the square to the right-hand side. This one, the radius is 5. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, approximately here, here, here. That one looks pretty good. It looks like the whole thing's in the first quadrant. Let's just try the second one. 5, 4. If the radius is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, we're already out of the first quadrant. This one does not fit inside your insertion. When a quadrilateral is reflected over the line y equals x, I don't care what you're reflecting. When you're reflecting, what is not preserved? Orientation. Dilation is the only one that does not preserve size. Orientation is the reflection is the only one that does not preserve orientation. The diagonals of a quadrilateral are congruent but do not bisect each other. That was the one thing you were supposed to memorize. The whole parallelogram diamond bisect each other. If it does not bisect each other, it can't be a type of parallelogram, which must make it a trapezoid. The sum of the interior angles. Well, we have our sum. Exterior is 360. Interior is 180 and minus 2. Is it asking for just one? No. It's asking for the sum, so it's 180 and minus 2. For a question like this, you have to ask yourself, are these angles the same or are they different? Well, acute, they're the same. If they're the same, you set them equal to each other. Solve the equation, go left to one side, isolate and subtract first. Divide last. It's asking for which value of x? 4.5. Remember, if the lines are parallel, then they won't be equal. Number 7, angle A is x squared minus 6x. Angle B is 2x minus 3. And angle ACD is 9x plus 27. In exterior angle in a triangle, the exterior angle theorem says that the sum of the two interior angles must equal the exterior. First off, at this point, you can just sub each answer in to see which one works, but I'm going to go through the whole problem for you. It gets a little bit long from here. But again, at this point, you can just sub in each answer to see which one works. It's Mr. X squared. What does he want to do? He wants to party. Before he can party, all his friends have to come over. That gives us x squared minus 13x minus 30 equals 0. Now that all his friends are over, party time. What do they do with the party? Bubbles. First sign comes down, negative times a positive is a negative. Any two numbers that multiply to 30, subtract to 13, that's 15 and 2. Set each factor equal to 0. X minus 15 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0. Add 15, add 15, x equals 15, minus 2, x equals negative 2. We're talking about degree measure. Degree measure can't be negative, so x must be 15. The question is asking for the value of x. Boom. 8. When solved graphically, what is the solution? Well, we're going to go to our calculator. Let me just take a moment to pull it up. Turn it on. There we go. There it is. Oh, I lost it again. All right, we'll make do like that. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 6, and we have x plus 2. We can take graphs to take a look at it. The solutions are where the graphs intersect. The graphs intersect here and here. What are the coordinates of those points? Well, looking at the answers, it's pretty obvious to see this is 1, 3, this is 4, 6. We can also go to our table. We can find our mirror image, and where we see the same value in the y columns, that's an answer. 4, 6 is an answer. 1, 3 is an answer. Number 9, the statement x is a multiple of 3 and x is an even integer is true when? For an and statement, they both have to be true. Well, 9 is a multiple of 3 is true, and 9 is an even integer is false. That's false. 8 is a multiple of 3 is false. X is an even integer is true. That's false. 3 is a multiple of 3 true. 3 is even false. So that whole thing is false. 6 is a multiple of 3. 6 is an even integer. They're both true. So it's true. 10. Draw a picture. D, E, F. Angle D is 3x plus 5. Angle E is 4x minus 15. Angle F is 2x plus 10. I have the angles of a triangle. I don't care what the question's asking me. I'm going to add to equal 180. Combine like terms, 9x, negative 15 plus 5 plus 10 is 0, so that cancels. Divide by 9, x is 20. Now that I have that, I want to find out what angle D, angle E, and angle F are. Well, D is 3x plus 5, E is 4x minus 15, and F is 2x plus 10. Well, that is 65, that is 65, and that is 50. So let's put that into the picture now. We've got D is 65, we've got E is 65, we've got F is 50. If these angles are the same, then the sides opposite them are the same. TF must be congruent to FP. Choice 1 is your 11. Two lines are represented by the equation blah 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 and blah blah blah. Determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. It's all about the slope. So I gotta find the slope for each. X plus 2y equals 4. 4y minus 2x equals 12. Let's do some algebra. Minus x, 2y equals negative x plus 4. Divide by 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. So the slope of this line is negative 1/2. Plus 2x plus 2x, or y equals 2x plus 12. Just so you know, I did not expect you to do the algebra fast. This is why you got a pause button on this thing. The slope of this line is 1/2. Now, I know that parallel lines have the same slope. Are they the same? No. One's positive, one's negative. I know that perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. Are these negative reciprocals of each other? No. They're not flipped. Therefore, they're even. 12. Given the true statement, the medians of a triangle are concurrent, write the negation of the statement. Let's stop right there. To write the negation, you write the opposite. The opposite of the medians of a triangle are concurrent is the medians of a triangle are not concurrent. Now we haven't learned about the truth value of that. You don't know what concurrent means. But it says that the initial statement is true. If the initial statement is true, then the negation, the opposite, must be false. 13. Find the slope of a line perpendicular to this line. Again, it's all about the slope for parallel and perpendicular. And to get the slope, I need to get y by itself. When I do that, I get y equals 3x plus 2. So the slope of this line is 3, or 3 over 1. If I want it to be perpendicular, it's got to be the negative reciprocal, which means to flip it and negate it. Flip it. 1 over 3. Negate it. Negative 1/3. Find in degrees the measure of both an interior and an exterior angle of a regular pentagon. Well, I know with my sum that exterior adds to 360 and interior use 180 and minus 2. Is it asking for the sum or just 1? And is just 1. So I divide by the number of angles. A pentagon has 5. That's 72. Now for this one, I first have to find the interior by substituting the 5, and I get 540. So again, to find just 1, I divide by 5, and I get 108. Notice how the exterior and the interior adds 180. It will always be that way. 15, the use of the graph is optional. Usually I say to graph it, but in this case, we know for reflections, we have rules that are contained within our sum. So I'm not going to graph it. A, B, C, D. A is negative 4, comma 5. B is 1, comma 5. C is 1, comma 2. D is negative 6, comma 2. When doing a composition, always start on the right. Reflection over the line y equals x. Well, that's in our sum. For reflection over y equals x, we switch or flip the points. Negative 4, 5 becomes 5, negative 4. 1, 5 becomes 5, 1. 1, 2 becomes 2, 1. Negative 6, 2 becomes 2, negative 6. Now that I have that, I do the next transformation, which is a reflection in the x-axis. And again, in our sum, we know to keep the axis we're reflecting over. I'm keeping the x. 5, 5, 2, 2. I'm negating the y value. Positive 4, negative 1, negative 1, positive 6. Done. One more to go. This graph, to solve a solution, to solve a system of equations, we need to graph them. To graph them, I have to get y by itself. Y is by itself on top. I know it's a parabola because there's 1 squared. Here, not so much. Minus 16, 2y equals 4x minus 16. Divide by 2, y equals 2x minus 8. So, I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to type each of them in. Let's get my calculator back up. Let's get rid of this thing right here. Fantastic. Y equals x minus 2 squared minus 3. And we have 2x minus 8. We can graph it if you want. It looks like the graphs are going to hit only once here. So to get my point, I go to my table. I need my mirror image. Awesome. It's there already. I'm going to copy down my 2 tables. Both of them are going to go from negative 1 to 5. My y values. My first one, 6, 1, negative 2, negative 3. And the other one, negative 10, negative 8, negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0, and 2. Now, I want to plot my points. I'm going to get rid of this because it's getting a little messy here. I want to limit that mess. Make it a little smaller this point as well. I've got negative 1, positive 6. I've got 0, 1. I've got 1, negative 2, 2, negative 3. Now I do my mirror. That is a beautiful looking parabola, if I may say so myself. Negative 1, negative 10. I do my line. I think I have more than enough there. We see that the point of intersection is right here. I can tell by the graph that it's 3, -2. And I can tell in the table it's 3, -2. We did an earlier problem because that point is in both tables. You watching me go over this is not going to be enough for you to be successful. In fact, this is just some of the problems. We spent 4 days doing topical review. Go through those sheets, go through everything else you have. Study, practice the problems. Make sure you prepare yourself. Do not come in cold. If you choose to do that, that is your choice, but do not expect to do well. This is a big part of the second quarter, so again, I hope you do a good job with it. That's all I got for you. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you later. Specifically, Monday, January 26th. See you.